Good morning. Today's reading is John 14:18 through 24, a reading that is full of a lot of interesting passages and some that are not that easy to understand, or at least were not that easy for me. I had to read a few of these verses a couple times to kind of absorb what Jesus was saying. And I take some comfort in this because if you notice recently in our devotional readings, the disciples are also a little slow on the uptake. Of course, a few days ago, we heard the story of Jesus washing the disciples' feet, and Peter famously not understanding what was happening and nearly refusing to let Jesus wash him. Well, today it's the disciple Judas who's asking for a little more clarification from his teacher, Jesus, about how exactly Jesus is going to reveal himself to the disciples. So, as I say, it took me a few times to kind of parse this and absorb what was happening. Here's one take on how what I took away from today's reading. I see Jesus delivering to his disciples his greatest promise: I will never leave you. And think about when Jesus is delivering this promise. It comes just before he's about to face the most difficult, painful, and dramatic test of his life. And in what is about to be Jesus' most hour of greatest need on earth in his life with us, he seeks to reassure his disciples, telling them, I will not leave you orphaned. I will come to you. And in that promise, I think we see the love of Christ on full, powerful display. Each of us individually over these last 2 years has endured our own tests throughout the pandemic. We've gone through ranges of loneliness, despair, frustration. And as a society, I think we've also witnessed, unfortunately, a seemingly limitless capacity for humanity to hurt and harm one another. And through all of that, Jesus breaks through, coming to us in our time of need and saying to us, I won't leave you. I will come to you. And it's a promise, I think, that is really well suited for Emmanuel to make. God is with us. It's also a resurrection promise that Jesus is making. Even though I will die, I will yet live and come again to you. And it's also a promise that Jesus gives to us that the gift of the Spirit will be with us, promising spiritual union with God and a relationship with Christ, which I think can lift us from despair and give purpose and meaning to our lives. So let's pray. God, we welcome you into our lives. Help us to receive the promise you've given to us. Open us to your presence. Help us feel it. Help us to see the beauty in life in you and the gift of you in us. Amen.